Okay, so as you can see, it's kind of stuck, like frozen. If I put it into LFO mode, you can see that, you know, it's not oscillating. And sometimes I can get it to kind of snap out of being frozen by sending like fast CV to it. Or sometimes if I just leave it on for a little while, it will snap out of it. But this happens pretty often. Almost every time I turn my case on, it's been happening for a few months. Let me see if I can get it to kind of wake up. So you can see it's receiving CV from this envelope. It's affecting the pitch, but still we're not getting anything from here. So it doesn't always work. Sometimes if I shut the case off and turn it back on, it will work, but it's kind of random. Yeah, now it's not working at all. Let me send a sequence to it. Send a lot of modulation to it. Sometimes that will kind of wake it up for whatever reason. So you can see it's, you know, it's receiving, or it's responding to pitch to some extent, but still it's not. Oh, there we go. Yep. So now I'll pull out all the modulation, and now it's awake and functioning. So that happens pretty frequently, pretty much 50% of the time. Okay, so this is part 2 of the issues I'm having with the Rubicon. So this one, I don't have an oscilloscope to demonstrate it, but I think that you can hear it. So when I go through the waveforms, most of them sound fine. Sine wave, triangle wave, sawtooth, double sawtooth. But this next one, is weird. It just sounds like exactly like the square wave does, and I'm not sure if this is supposed to sound it or if it's something that I don't understand. But so it sounds exactly like the square wave. If I bring it over to the square and the rectangle, it sounds identical. I feel like that a wave that shape shouldn't sound like that. You know, that's rectangle's working fine. The sub oscillator is working fine, and all the other waveforms work fine. It's just this one that I don't think is supposed to sound like that. And like I said, it'd be easier if I had an oscilloscope so I can check it out. But yeah, so that's the other issue that's happening. Okay, so this is the third potential issue with the Rubicon. when I use hard sync. So when I'm using soft sync, I have a sequence running to the pitch of the Rubicon, and then I have the Dixie 2 controlling sync, and it's not pitched by the sequencer. So when I use soft sync, it works as expected. Sounds like it should. But then when I use hard sync, so it works, you know, when I plug it in, sounds like it should. But then when I hit the reset, it doesn't change the sound at all. And again, I don't have an oscilloscope, so I can't, you know, verify that it's not doing what it's supposed to do. But it doesn't sound like it is. There's no change in sound. Alright, so with the previous issue of this waveform sounding weird to me, because it sounds to me pretty much identical to the square wave, I realized that the Dixie 2 has the same wave. So when I patch, instead of the Rubicon, if I patch the Dixie 2 with the same wave, I realized that it does sound the same. So maybe that's not an issue, unless they're both having issues, which I doubt. So maybe that one's not an issue.